basically the same experience. A person is seeing the exact same thing I'm seeing, and I asked, do you see that? She said, yes. I said, well, it's a ghost. She said, there's no such thing as a ghost. I go, do you see that? 3 times I asked the question. 3 times she said yes, and then she ran out of the room. So have all your views changed once you've been involved in this?
Mine has.
No, and yes. So what I have to say is we saw something, or there's something. I don't know what that something is yet, but that's what we're hoping to find out.
But there were those of us that we all saw it at the same time, and we can say to each other, did you see that?
Did you
yes,
see
it
that?
wasn't in one person's head, which was part of what he possibly believed in the beginning.
There's something I'd like to say to your story. During my very first visit to this property, which was quite eventful, I had an experience not unlike what you just described, where 3 other individuals were pointing at something in the sky. They were very excited. So they're pointing over here, then over here, and they're all saying things in unison. I'm looking in that direction of the sky, and I see nothing. I don't know what to make of that.
Well, this event went on for over 2 hours, so it wasn't like 2 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
And she denied it.
Great. Interesting.
All right, thanks for your question.
My name's Madeline Bowen. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm here at Dallas and AlienCon, and my favorite thing about AlienCon and being here, besides the fact that there's all walks of life, I feel that it's absolutely an energy zone. You have people coming from Vegas, from Cali, from New York, everywhere, and you're all gathering for one thing, and that's because we all believe.
Hey, how are y'all doing today? This is Carolyn and Gary Stokes here from Powder Springs, Georgia. We're here at AlienCon showing off our new books called Connect with the Dots in Our Universe. It's an answer book. It'll explain to you why the moon is made of aluminum and those simple natures. We also answer the questions like, where did the people go that were here before? Well, they went to Mars and the 5th ring planet, realizing that, guess what? The moon is made of aluminum, and it was used as a carrying device to bring all the water as well as all the marine life and everything to planet Earth, to do planet Earth like we see it today. So we'd like to share it. If you get a chance, please download the book or buy a copy if you get a chance. We enjoy your time.
Hi, I'm Jeffery Sortino. I'm the author of The Identity of God, The Search for and Identification of God Through Ancient Texts. This is a very good experience. You get to meet a lot of different authors of ancient aliens and the ancient astronaut theorists, plus a lot of other merchandise that is pretty unique in the theory itself, and just fun to have.
All right, so I'm Brad Staggs. This is ODYSY1.com. We're an internet radio station. You can also find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us where else, Ron?
We have our own app.
We've got our own. I mean, seriously, we're legit. If you like alien technology, paranormal, Bigfoot, any of that, even regressionism. See, I did that with mind control. I'm good at mind control. Watch this. I'm going to make it fade to black now.
My name's Aaron Steiner, and I wrote a book. It's called Myth, The Origin of Man. And it actually documents the creation of mankind as a slave race for a group of aliens that came here from Sirius B, which is only 7 stars away, and they were mining gold. And they got tired of doing it themselves. The workers rebelled, and they decided to create their own workforce. Well, the first workforce they created didn't work out. That was the Lulu, reptilian sleeve stack looking thing. And then they added Lyrian DNA, and they created mammalian humans to do the work. And Lilith is the first human, and this is Lord Enki. He ends up removing Lilitu to become his consort. And the book documents the human origins, and then it also documents the first female's quest for personal empowerment. So she becomes the lead character in the second half of the book. And she's removed from the human experiment, and she becomes magical because she awakens the dormant energies that they were capable of dampening. Because when they first created us, they apparently, the Buddhist priests up in the Tibetan mountains teach their disciples that the gods had placed gates on the human energy system when they first designed us. Just probably so that they could utilize us as a slave race, because they created very highly psychokinetic beings. So the gates are located at the base of the neck, between the shoulder blades, the base of the spine, and the Buddhist monks, they would meditate on these gates to open up their energies and stuff. But Lilith managed to open up those energies herself through eating mushrooms. It was her job to take care of the mushrooms and the rest of the plants in the garden habitat of Eden. And Adamu, he was the male, a beautiful young black couple, basically, Adamu and Lilitu. He was taking care of the animals and she was taking care of the plants. But once she got into the psychotropics, it was all over. And she surpassed Adamu's prowess. He was very jealous. Things didn't work out. She ends up being removed from the human experiment to become Lord Enki's consort. But he ends up being rather intimidated by her prowess, and he kicks her to the curb. And she survives her ordeal in the desert and ends up dating his brethren, and they share their technologies with her, and she becomes very powerful. And the end of the book is where she comes back trying to get some clones of some fruit that she had been accustomed to that she could reproduce in her own gardens. So she sneaks on to the grounds and she finds Eve, who is her replacement, doing her old job. Eve was created as a clone of the male, because they found the male was staying task at hand and they want the new female to be like him. So they used stem cells from bone marrow, of the only bone you can remove from the human anatomy without destroying it or messing it up. Even the pinky would screw up this rib right here. So that's how Eve was cloned, was from Adamu's rib. But Lilith finds Eve doing her old job, introduces herself. Eve is enamored by Lilith's prowess, asks her how she'd gotten so powerful, and then Lilith shows her the Amanita muscaria mushroom, which looks like a big red apple when they're not open. And she ends up partaking, and they trick Adamu into taking some too, and they get caught, and they get in a lot of trouble. And there's a big courtroom scene at the end where the man and woman are sentenced to death, but they end up canceling the order because during that time they saw that they were protecting each other out of love. So they decided to keep the humans. Here we are today. And Lilith ends up dating the Anunnaki golden boy, like the head of the security. He had fallen in love with her, and they both got in trouble, and they both got banished. In closing, the book has unveiled a wealth of detail about our history that has been buried as and presented as fantasy, whereas a lot of the what were brought up as fantasy is actually lost history. Like The Hobbit, everything The Hobbit, all those characters, those are part of our history, but they were wiped out, and for the most part. I'm sure their bloodlines still, there's a lot of them in the room, you know? So, I mean, we still have it.